like, subscribe, and stay tuned for further spiritual updates. Although this is not a spiritual update, which is what I really want to talk about on my channel. But I listen to Scott Ritter and Colonel Douglas McGregor, along with other channels, consistently to get the news. And I'm glad to see that Scott Ritter has his own channel now. He's not letting everybody piggyback off of him. But they're talking about opening up the Straits of Hormuz. It will not happen. Because to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, you have to use the Chinese yuan. And Scott was talking about a compilation of people, countries going to open up the Strait of Hormuz. It's not going to happen. Because, first of all, that is what BRICS wants. BRICS want that. They want to usurp the American dollar with the yuan, with the ruble. They do not want the American dollar to be used as a form of money to pay for goods and services, because the United States blew it. When we never got greedy, and then you want to start sanctioning countries and getting into other countries' business. Eventually, you can only bully so much before people get tired of it and decide that they're not going to put up with it. Now, I'm going to let you understand this. Putin is slick. He allowed India to become a part of BRICS because he knew that India was going to do what? Betray BRICS. He knew India would betray BRICS, and the United States would be looking for a partner in BRICS that they can use to circumvent BRICS as the international currency. They knew, the United States knew that they could get India, and Putin knew that they could get India. And then I'm not sure what particular issue it was, but India was the only country to abstain and vote against BRICS, which is exactly what Putin wanted. This made the United States comfortable and feel as if they had infiltrated. Mossad and the CIA had infiltrated BRICS. So this made them comfortable. But what they didn't realize is that the I in BRICS really stands for Iran. It really stands for Iran. And if you notice, Russia doesn't have to pay to get to the Straits of Hormuz. China doesn't have to pay. And if North Korea or anybody in BRICS has to go through there, they don't have to pay. But everybody that is aligned with the United States has to pay $2 million per ship if it is oil. And see, understand this. Russia, in defense of itself, in order not to be surrounded by NATO, boom, hit who? Hit Ukraine. They hit Ukraine to stop from having NATO surround them. Now, Iran hit Israel. It was a test. It was a test to check out Israel and the United States' capabilities to defend themselves. And they did it on a couple of occasions. And every time the United States asked for ceasefire, they gave them a ceasefire. And then they watched how they responded. And then they watched how the United States responded to every attack. Every attack was for a reason. And they watched the response. And then when everything was in place, then they just baited. Then they baited the United States. They just baited them. And they waited for them. Because they knew at some point in time, if you understand Israel and the United States MO, then you know that the United States at some point in time, Israel was going to attack and become the aggressor, because Israel wants to take over the whole Middle East. And they got Iraq's oil and they wanted to take Iran's oil. Greedy. And they knew that this was going to happen. So Iran attacks Israel, then they ask for a ceasefire, they back up, and then they know what the United States is going to do. And then now they know just exactly how to fight Israel. Exactly how to fight Israel and the United States, because they done tested them. So boom. Now let's get back to the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has a surprise. Iran has a surprise because they know that at some point in time, they knew they was going to put the embargo on it long ago. But first they had to put the military infrastructure in place. So once they did that, now here comes the United States and Israel talking about, we're going to attack the Strait of Hormuz. They are ready for it. They know the missile capabilities of the United States. They know that the United States now doesn't have countries where they can land their bases. And if the United States is going to come there, it will have to be an amphibious or an air or paratroopers coming in, because there are no. And once they get there, they're going to have to hold it, because they don't have any bases that are safe for American troops to land. And if they land American troops, you know what? They already hit an Israeli ship that was 95 miles off the coast of Iran. That tells you when you bring some troops in on by boat, they're gonna hit those boats, especially those boats that they get in to land. But the main thing I want to say is, they was talking about a NATO coalition and talking about China being involved. China's not going to help anybody take the Strait of Hormuz. They're not going to help, because people have to use what? They have to use the yuan, the Chinese yuan, in place of the dollar. So China's not going to help with that. Plus China got free passage anyway. Russia's got free passage. And now France even got it, because France didn't support the United States. And eventually, all the countries that do not support the United States and Israel are going to eventually get free passage through. All of them are going to get free passage through. So why are they going to waste their military budget and arsenal on a fight that they don't need to be in? All they got to do is lay back and be cool, and they can go on through. Because BRICS, I ain't gonna say Iran, I'm gonna say BRICS, because Iran is a part of BRICS, and Iran is going, and this is the deal. They want to cripple the United States dollar. They don't want to cripple the United States because you got 330 million people that you can make money off of. So you want to get part of this economy, and you don't really want to destroy the economy, but you do want to stop Israel and the United States militarily from attacking other countries. In fact, white imperialism is over. But guess what? When it's over, that works to everybody's advantage. White imperialism stops the progress of the world. It'd be a multicultural world where people live in peace is cheaper than having people go back and forth to war. War is not, it's stupid. It's stupid. And only stupid people want war. And even the so-called Caucasians that are talking this racism stuff, the middle class and the poor whites, you're not part of white imperialism. To be a part of white imperialism, you gotta have billions and billions of dollars. Hey, this guy just stole $6.2 billion of our tax dollars. Stephen Miller. How and he's a racist. Now, every racist in the United States, tell me how him stealing $6.2 billion of your tax money helped you. And and that money could have went toward your subsidies that Trump took away. That could have went toward your subsidies. This guy just took $6.2 billion and gone about his business. And what about the $40 billion that he gave to Venezuela? That could have been used for reparations for me and subsidies for you. But since we don't get along, then we ain't gonna fight together, so divide and conquer. And then if I would have got some reparations, you got a farm, I'm buying your produce. If it ain't genetically modified, and then who's buying all your land? I hear Bill Gates done bought a lot of land. And you know what he's doing to food. I'm not buying anything that Bill Gates raises, I'm not buying. I'm not touching any food that he makes. And I'm gonna tell you this. Most countries around the world, they don't touch American pork. They don't touch that. And then we're talking about the rice. The rice that we grow in America used to be the field for cotton, and the insecticide that they use to kill the boll weevil, so that it don't eat the cotton, had arsenic in it, and that arsenic stays in the ground. And now they're planting rice in those old cotton fields that contain arsenic. Now I stocked up on rice. I got to get rid of it and get rice from a different country. But like I say, it's just the thing I wanted to let you know about this. We will never take the Strait of Hormuz. Never. One, North Korea gave Iran 500 intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's what North Korea gave to Iran. 500 intercontinental ballistic missiles. Russia gave Iran 1,000 missiles. And I don't know just what type of these missiles are, but Iran didn't even need them. They still stockpile. And Iran still has places where they can launch missiles that they haven't even used yet. And then you're not going to hold that Strait of Hormuz, because Russia is already sending troops over there. Russia is sending troops over there. They're going to be, I don't care how many troops you send over there, you talking about, Iran has 90 million people. 90 million. And they probably have at least 1 million people in the service. And then Russia is sending over, I forgot that country, but they're sending over troops, and thousands of troops. I'm gonna tell you this: if you're gonna take the Straits of Hormuz, you're gonna need more than 10,000 troops. You're gonna need more than 10,000 troops, and then you're gonna be facing missiles and drones, because that's the new military now. All this stuff about these aircraft carriers and these billion-dollar jets and billion-dollar tanks, they're being taken out with drones that cost a couple $1,000s that fly slow underneath the radar. And they're knocking out these radar systems. This is not the night. You can't fight a 1960, a 1980 war in 2026. You can't fight a 2000 war in 2026. The technology is gone. The technology is up there, it's gone. Ain't no shortcuts in this. And see, the United States has a corporate military. And what do corporations want? Corporations want money. Corporations are about making profit maximization. But when you have when the state owns all these things, all that money is going directly into missiles, making missiles, ammunition. They ain't trying to make a profit. They're trying to make equipment, and they're going to invest in new technologies, because it's not costing them anything, it's costing the taxpayer. But if you can't run a military and try to make a profit off what you sell and a profit off the people. You can't make a profit off the people and off the military and off selling military equipment because you double dipping. The state, when it's state owned, everything goes towards the military. When Russia makes a tank, they take raw steel or iron or what it is and they put it into a machine and it goes in the entire factory. When that raw materials come out the front of the factory, you got a tank. They melt the steel in there. They melt the steel. They shape it. They melt, shape, make everything. The whole situation is taken care of in one place. That state owned does everything in one place. They're not trying to make a cheap part here, a part there, and save money. They're trying to fight a war. And that's why we have $20,000 and $30,000 drones destroying $6 million tanks. That's why we have, they're flying drones in by the thousands. They cost $20,000, $30,000. They cost missiles that cost $1 million and $6 million to make. Because you ain't keeping up with the time. And you're not interested in, and corporations aren't interested in new technology because it costs money. They're just trying to make a profit. They're trying to make a profit. And that's what and guess what? They're making a profit. You're making a profit, but you're making a profit, Goliath, but you're losing the war to David. Like and subscribe for further spiritual updates. Talk to you later.